Hey everybody, this is Tony White with TalkYakima.com. Today I have the privilege with introducing you to Dr. Mary Pelzer and Caitlin Connell.
Caitlin Connell.
There we go.
Hi.
That's my mistake. Sorry about that. They're life coaches, and this is going to be the first episode live that we've done with Facebook Live. So the mistakes are real. They're not planted or rehearsed. And so be warned, you might hear things slip, and we'll just go from there. But so let's get going. We've got about 30 minutes. So.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. But just let us know, tell everybody in the audience who's going to be listening, what is a life coach?
Well, Tony, I'm going to correct you right there because we are not life coaches. People think we are. There's this term out there, life coaches. We are actually consciousness coaches. There aren't very many consciousness coaches, so no one knows that term.
Okay.
Let me explain something about consciousness. It's not something, certainly as a physician, I went to University of Washington Medical School. We learned some about consciousness. We learned mostly that if you have surgery and you get the mask and the drug, you're unconscious for your surgery. This is good. But as far as a concept going through life when we're awake, what is consciousness? Let me just explain a little bit about that, okay? Consciousness actually has several different parts. The two main parts are our conscious awareness, and the other part is our unconscious. If, for example, okay, I'm going to use you, Tony. If I ask you to wave your right hand at people, can you do that? Wave your right hand. Okay, now I'm going to take your wrist here. I'm going to check your pulse. It's a good doctor thing to do. Now, Tony, I want you to make your heart rate go up to 110 beats a minute. Ready, go. It's not changing. Come on, Tony, raise it up. Okay, see, you can't change that.
Right.
Because that's under unconscious control. Your unconscious is basically taking care of all of the stuff going on in your body. That's why, because when you're in surgery under anesthesia and you're not conscious, but your unconscious is still active, and all of that, your heart's still beating, your lungs are still working, your pancreas, your liver, all of those things are working. Those are run by our unconscious. Now, the important thing about the unconscious is that most of what happens in our behavior is actually happening at an unconscious level. Okay? Yeah. And it's like things get planted in there. It's like our internal programming, the software. Because a lot of the times for example, let's say you get craving for something that's not very good for you. So you're like consciously, oh no, chocolate just makes my face break out and I feel sick. Okay, consciously I don't want the chocolate. Unconsciously you might be, that's the thing you're stuffing in your face. Right? Does that ever happen to you?
Oh yeah.
Or it's like, ooh, I want 6-pack abs, right? Or I want to be really strong, I'm going to go to the gym.
Right.
It might be a New Year's resolution. We start out going really good, and then lots of times what happens? Oh, I don't want to do that, or we sleep in, and something happens.
Right.
Yeah, that's because our unconscious doesn't want to. And that's what most people don't understand, is that absolutely anything that we want is actually possible. Anything. And the only thing holding any of us back from achieving whatever our goals are is our unconscious.
That's pretty deep.
That is pretty deep. and it's why we started our coaching practice. Because everybody has conscious, and we're talking right now, it's very conscious, but also your unconscious is going on and doing things. When we're coaching, we actually coach as a team. So I'm the conscious coach, and Caitlin is the unconscious coach, which doesn't mean that she's unconscious.
Or I make you unconscious.
Or she'd be, hit you over the head, makes you unconscious. But she is tuning in to our client's unconscious, what's going on.
Internal thing.
The internal things. It's that inner game. Have you ever heard that term? Our
Yes,
inner game?
yes.
Yeah. And that is basically probably 90% of our behaviors comes from our unconscious motivation. And it's why so many people are stuck on reaching their goals. So for example, you do marketing.
Correct.
Okay. So let's say you have a client, and what's a cool thing to do with marketing? Video.
Mm-hmm.
You have any clients that are a little bit
Oh,
petrified?
for sure. A lot,
A
actually.
lot.
Right.
Okay. Where do you think that's coming from?
Inner fear.
Yeah, inner fear. That's their unconscious. So somewhere inside, their unconscious is like, no way.
Right.
And so someone like that, you could go, oh, okay, you want to get over that? You send them over to us, and we will teach them a process, go into that, look at what's that about. Maybe, let's just make up a little story here. Let's say this client, let's call your client Bill. Okay, so you have this client,
Good
Bill, who he's getting out there on the web, and what does Bill sell?
Bill sells real estate.
Real estate, okay. And so he wants to do these little video tours or get some video of him up there to get the know, like, and trust factor with his people. Yeah,
Right.
good thing to do from a marketing perspective. All right. So you notice how I did that, know, like, and trust. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay. Got the lingo. Anyhow, so Bill wants to do video, but let's say when Bill was in second grade, he had to stand up in class and give a presentation. And he stuttered a little bit, and everybody laughed at him. And Bill felt really ashamed, embarrassed, and after that, he didn't want to stand up in front of anybody. So when he goes to do video, now that he's 40 years old and grown up, no longer in second grade, that fear, that stuff that happened in second grade, it's stuck inside in his unconscious. And it is governing his behavior, actually holding him back.
It's like blockage.
Absolutely, it's this inner block.
Right.
And some people will say, what will they say? Just change your mindset?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just do it.
Yes.
just do it,
Right.
which is possible. And when we're talking about willpower, I'm just going to gut it out and change my mindset. That's possible, but it doesn't do anything to release that fear. And what happens if you just bury that and cover it over, there's a saying, it's like feelings buried alive never die. It's going to cause problems inside. And sometimes those problems will actually come out as physical illnesses.
Right. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Upset stomachs, you know.
Yeah, ulcers.
The whole thing.
IBS, all this stuff.
Exactly. Is a
Yeah.
lot of
Heartburn.
stuff that we're just suppressing.
Mhm.
So that's where we go with our consciousness coaching, and why we have the unconscious coach, Caitlin, is really good at helping people tap into those places. And we teach techniques, we teach people how to, okay, if you have this goal like Bill and says, okay, I don't want to suppress the fear, okay, I can get that, and I'm just real anxious, I'm doing the videos, but I'm really anxious. Wouldn't it be better if Bill there wasn't any fear, and it just, oh, I can do that, no problem. That would be awesome for him, right?
Right.
He wouldn't have the angst, he wouldn't have the anxiety, he wouldn't have to be popping the Tums or the Zantac or whatever it is, because his stomach's just going crazy. That's the kind of things that we do. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, but let's say like you have the unconscious conscious, but sometimes that doesn't even solve it, does it? I mean, sometimes there's just some inner.
Like, give me an example. Actually, no.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
because I probably am. But it's just like, you know, if after you're done, there's still that fear. I guess I'm going to be wrong, because fear, plain and simple. I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to still ask it
Go
because I
ahead,
already
go ahead.
started.
Yes.
But you know, after rehearsing with you guys figuring out what my issues in my claw is and all this other stuff, are you saying that there's way to, no matter what your hang-up is, to overcome it no matter what?
No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what.
As far as we can tell, all healing is possible.
Wow.
All of it. All of it. You take Bill, for
Okay,
example.
we'll take Bill.
Take Bill.
Hi, Bill, if you're out there.
Bill may or may not even remember that Bill has this issue. Some people don't. It was something that happened whenever it happened, and they may not. They may remember it, but they may remember it in a cursory fashion. Oh yeah, that happened. It doesn't matter anymore. I was in second grade. I'm grown up. It shouldn't bother me any longer.
Right.
Why am I still afraid? Bill isn't connecting with that fear, however it was that he felt. Maybe Bill had something going on in his home life that this laughter in second grade impacted him to the degree that it did. Maybe Bill had something else going on in school. Maybe he was being picked on otherwise, or maybe that day he was sick. Something or other happened. He connected this laughter, this standing up, speaking in front of the class with this big trauma. Now he has this connected.
Right.
It might be crazy to him because he's thinking of it from his logical grown-up adult mind. He's not connecting with it from his little younger self that's carrying all that fear.
Because that's when it got stuck.
Exactly. Does that
Yeah.
does that make better sense?
Because I mean, it's just like, I know for me, I mean, it's just like sometimes I just get so nervous, like my palms will sweat.
Oh, I can relate to that.
Yeah, it's just like last night. I was serving at our church, and then it was ladies' nights, and I'm working. I put the words up in the videos and all that stuff, right? And I was trying to keep up with this guest speaker, and I messed up, and I'm just like sweating. And that's, my hang up is I hate failure. I hate making mistakes. So I'm just like,
You're the
a lot of
only one
time-
with that problem.
But I think I'm like 10 times harder on myself
Yes.
than other people
We
are. And
tend
it's
to
just like,
be.
Right.
you know.
And that's the kind of thing, I mean, with that problem, that fear of failure, is that a sense, okay, I'll just always live with that? There's nothing that can
Well,
do it?
I always looked at it as, that's just my personality, that I try myself to make myself get over. It's just like, I did sales for a long time, and it was person to person, so I had to defeat that fear of not
The rejection. Right?
the rejection, just the fear of going up to somebody and trying to sell them something, and I had to get over that fear. And there's a lot of times I'll still go up to somebody to sell, and I still have that fear there, but I just push forward and keep on doing it, and I just repress that that
Yeah.
feeling, even though it's there, because I can feel it. It's like it's tugging, and it's just like,
Wouldn't
I'm
that
so
be
nervous.
amazing though if that wasn't there?
Yeah.
And can you imagine if you still were in sales and as a marketing professional, I mean you are selling.
That's exactly what I always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing if that wasn't there?
Well, yeah. I don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And do you think that you could be more effective if it wasn't there?
100%.
Yeah.
If
And that's one of the things, that's so wonderful. You're giving us a chance to talk to, the one person out there who's maybe there. Hi. Is that most people in our society don't know what's possible, and we have these common myths, if you will. I just have to learn to live with it. Just get over it. Just suppress it. We don't necessarily say that, but it's kind of taken for granted. It's like big boys don't cry, or big girls don't cry, or just
what
buck
else are
up.
supposed to do? It already happened. Just get over it.
Right, and we
Right.
don't teach those skills of how to manage our emotions, because there's an emotion there, fear. And do you want to play?
Let's play.
Let's play.
Well,
Okay.
let's,
get to
before
play.
we start,
Okay.
let me do one thing.
Okay.
Let me jump on here as well, because I just want to see something.
Okay.
So
We get to play.
Mary's happy we get to play.
Planted or rehearsed. Yeah, so
So,
if you
see,
want,
I just
might
like-
hear things slip,
Boom.
and we'll just go from there. But
it's going live, right post. It's a delay from
Okay.
us, but come watch.
So let's keep going. We've got about 30 minutes.
So,
Okay.
so this is. I mean, we're still live. We're still rolling. It says live right there. We have 2 viewers. We've been on for 15 minutes, so this records for 15 more
Oh, 15
minutes.
more
So
minutes.
let's
Okay.
let's
So you
do
have
Okay,
this.
so let's play.
Short play time.
Okay.
Let's
I
short
can
play
play.
time.
Short
Okay.
play.
We can do the second episode if you want.
There you go.
Why
We'll get you all
not?
fixed up.
Why not?
Okay. So if you were to come to us and say, Mary and Kaylin, now I didn't know this was a possibility that I could get rid of that. I don't like having that feeling there. So if you think about, can you trigger that? Is there something that you can think about that brings that up? Sometime you sold or the
I
time
think
you
it.
church.
I think it's selling. I think it's just a fear of rejection.
Now you're in your head. I just want to know, I want you to feel that feeling in your stomach. What can you think about that brings up that fear of rejection there? Can you think of a time you were rejected?
A lot.
Okay, well, pick
I-
a big one. And you don't even have to tell us. Just think of something and you're starting to feel that fear of rejection.
Do you need a?
Okay, let's just.
You got
do
that,
you
okay?
want me to say it, or do you want me to just think it?
Either, whatever.
You can tell us.
Well, I'm fine. I'm
No,
okay. But it's like, for instance, I went to a client
Okay.
to they asked me to come. They invited me to come. We talked business and all this other things that they needed to try to solve the solution for their issue. So we went over it, and they all excited, right? So they go, okay, come back with us with an offer. Tell us how much all this costs. And I was like, all right. So I went there. Well, when I went there, I hit them with a big ticket because they asked for quite a lot. And, they were like, oh, no, we can't deal. Oh, no, forget it. Just go. And this was like, but no. It's like, all right, it's just like, well, I gave them what they asked for, but they didn't like what I gave them. But I still left there feeling like rejected. So it's like, but you asked me.
Yeah, okay. Wasn't fair, but
Yeah,
okay.
right?
So when you think about that incident, sort of pull up that memory, can you feel that fear of rejection right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you feel it in your body?
Gut.
Okay. Is it like inside your
Yeah.
gut? Not on the outside?
No.
It's inside?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to know how to heal that?
Sure.
Okay. So healing
Isn't
is...
that your job?
No, it's your job.
Oh.
It's your
Your job.
fear. I know. So healing is incredibly simple. And in fact, it's so simple that most of us totally miss it. The only thing you need to do in order to heal and transform that stuck emotion of fear, and that's what it is, it's just like this crumpled up energy that got stuck way long ago, who knows, sometime way long ago,
Right.
is you have to be willing to experience it. Okay? And so what I'm going to ask you to do, just really quickly, are you willing to experience it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm in here.
Okay, there you go. All right.
No shots or
Just-
nothing,
there we
right?
go. No shots.
Okay, then sure.
No shot needles.
That's true. Can you get rid of that fear?
Yeah. No hypnosis. No anything. Okay. Because we want people to do this for themselves. We don't have to want them to go somewhere or ask someone else or, do the
Right.
hypnosis thing or what. I mean, not that those aren't, they're fine, but what we really like to do is empower people to deal with their own stuff when it comes up. Okay. So what you do is just think of that, feel that sensation in your stomach, and just allow it to be there. Don't say, ooh, I don't want this, push it away. Just feel it. Does that make sense? Okay, so just go ahead and feel it for a little bit. You can close your eyes or you can keep them open, whatever. Okay, so just allow it to be there.
That's
Healing
awkward.
is really boring.
A little bit. It can be.
No, yeah. And just keep feeling that. And while you're feeling that, I'm going to talk to people. So we get taught as kids not to feel our stuff. And as physicians, not that we're doing it on purpose or anything, we're doing the best we can as physicians, but in Western medicine and how I was trained in conventional medicine, when someone comes in, I have all this anxiety, I have all this, what do? We give them a pill. Take that Xanax or that Valium or that Librium, or, we're drinking alcohol, or, we're smoking a joint or something else. Maybe we're going shopping. We're doing all of these escape mechanisms to not feel our stuff. And unfortunately what that does is it just keeps it stuck. Okay, so we'll check in with you. How did that go, allowing it to be there?
Fine.
Fine, okay.
I'm within good company. So
Okay, there you
it's
go,
all right.
okay. And so, does it feel the same as it did, or has it shifted at all?
To me, it seems about the same now.
Okay, how is he doing? Is he connecting with it? So now I go to my unconscious coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what Caitlin is doing, she's able to kind of track and tune into that, and whether you're actually allowing that to be there and transform. So we're going to ask Caitlin, what are you noticing?
Mostly the distraction, I think, of the
Right.
The
of the
circumstance.
circumstances.
We're on live on camera
Right.
and talking.
Tony bearing his soul to
Yeah,
everybody.
everybody's going to know
The
now.
whole two people that are out there.
Right.
Whoever else
But this is
gonna see
video. It
that.
lasts forever.
That's true.
It does.
So
It
it's
does.
a hard time connecting.
Yes, and probably the circumstance. And I think part of it, you're staying more up in your head. This thing down here is impacting you, but your brain is controlling where it is that you're going and how you're thinking about it.
Right.
So if you were our client, so to speak, we would be making sure, have you drop down and actually feel that, we'd be quiet, we'd probably have you close your eyes, you'd be quiet, we're not on live.
All right. This is TV time, not real time.
Exactly. But that's what we have you do, and that's the amazing thing about having Caitlin as the unconscious coach, is she can give you that feedback. Because there's healing techniques where you do things like this, but sometimes we can fool ourselves, because you can sort of feel that anyway because it's so big, which is different than allowing it to be there, and as Caitlin's saying, really connecting to it. So that's where she gives that feedback and makes sure our clients are really connecting. And with this stuck fear, often we don't want to go there. And we'll stay up in our heads and think about it, oh yeah, I'm feeling it, da 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 da, and nothing is happening. And Caitlin was like, didn't do it. And then we'll shift and drop you deeper until you're actually being there. Okay?
We got about
Seven
7 minutes
minutes,
left.
okay.
Let-
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, let me just ask a couple of questions
Yeah.
and then we can go back into it, because I don't know, maybe I'll hire you guys, ladies. But, so how long have you two been doing this together?
Let's see.
7 years?
7.
When we first started.
When I first started with you guys, about 8 years ago now.
Is that it?
Yeah.
We just started coaching, well, we were doing kind of healing before as we were learning how to do this. And so as coaches for about 3 years, we
3
started
years.
the conscious and conscious coaches, and then started figuring out, the marketing, the internet, and how do we
Brand
do
yourself,
that, brand
yeah.
Yeah.
all that
Right.
stuff, yeah.
So how many people have you done this as a team with?
Oh, gosh.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Nice.
Mhm.
Pretty successful.
Yeah, this
Very.
is the most fun I've had as a physician.
Yeah.
Again, as a physician, it's a lot don't get me wrong, doctors do amazing things.
Right.
And, for example, if you get hit by a truck, you want a trauma surgeon. Thank you very much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But for a lot of chronic illnesses, it really has to do with what's underneath, why those are coming out like that. A special area of focus we're moving into this year is chronic pain, which conventional medicine really sucks with chronic pain, and there's a lot of Band-Aids. So when you're taking pain pills, whatever it is, that's actually not helping to heal the reason the person has the pain. It's just sort of numbing it out, which keeps it stuck. So we're starting to work in that area, and we can really help people get underneath if they're interested in actually transforming that and letting that stuff go so it's not stuck. So it's a ton of fun. We've worked a lot with people with very severe abuse, sexual and
Right.
physical abuse.
That's
which,
where I could see that. stuff
yeah,
kicking in.
which gets deep and totally impacts people's lives. I mean, kind of shuts them down from even attempting to reach their dreams and goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we have special expertise in that, and you know, it's very, very sensitive, but it's incredibly rewarding. Yeah, getting
Very,
the
yeah,
the
very,
transformation
very much
people
Right.
can get, and just basically getting them free. Yeah.
Seeing results, especially for towards you, is always good to see. All right. That's me. That's why I like doing what I do, just because I like people and I love stories. And I
Yeah.
love learning
Right.
to know things. And I would have never known anything about this field ever.
No,
Probably not.
there's not a lot of
Unlikely.
people,
Very unlikely.
no,
Yeah.
no, short, quick interjection. As far as how our stuff impacts people and the work that we do, a little bit of my story and what the impact of our work has been for me personally. A year or more ago, I went to my first Toastmasters meeting to support this lovely friend of mine, Mary. She was giving her first speech, and I decided, oh, this is where I want to be. My anxiety speaking in front of anybody, sitting in front of a camera, was through the roof. And I'm sitting here with you, not feeling a lot of anxiety.
Not tachycardic.
No, no, my heart is not racing. I don't have sweaty palms. I feel pretty clear-headed. My speeches in Toastmasters are starting to get better. I don't feel like I have to have as many crutches when I give my speeches.
Not to mention, she's the president of our club and moving up in the organization. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and without our work to support me in my personal journey, I would not be here in front of you.
Wow. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Very
very
cool.
cool.
Yes, and for me, it's been a year working specifically on this part of what I have some trauma around.
Yeah, and there's one thing that people need to know. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this isn't something that can be done in like the first visit. This
You
is-
know, it's possible. It's possible for all of us to let go of something
Change
just
in
like
an
that,
instant, yeah.
but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't, because we have that need to survive, and the way that we need to survive is to hang on to our trauma because it keeps us safe.
Makes sense.
So we don't let go of it instantaneously. It's possible, we just don't.
So anybody who's out there, how they get a hold of you two, because this is, I'm sure, I'll share the heck out of this too, but, I'm sure there's people who will watch this and say, I need help with that. They won't come out and say it, but, because this is something private usually, right? So
Yeah.
how does somebody get a hold of you two to have further conversation or take the next step?
Yep, they can go to our website, which is unconsciouscoaches.com. Can also find us on Facebook, or on Facebook, Mary Pellissier,
Caitlin Connell?
Caitlin Connell. Just check us out on Facebook. I don't know when you post this, Tony. Can you post some links? We can put some links.
Yeah.
Yep.
As soon as we're done here, I'll put whatever we need to put on there. I'll put
Yeah,
links to
yeah.
it,
So
and
put some
then
links up.
of course
Yeah,
I
that'd
have
be good.
a bunch of other sites I'll put as well. Do you guys have a phone number as well, or just website for now?
Website, whatever phone numbers are on the business
And then-
cards, that'll
yeah.
be fine. And then we also have a workshop that we're starting next week, a 4-week workshop that is being held at Dr. Jean Weber's office.
Yeah,
Okay.
gives a good introduction. So that it's normally $500 for it, and if anyone says they heard it on here, $100.
Oh. Well, you heard it here. so
So,
that's a
yeah.
$400 saving. That's awesome.
That,
Yeah.
That's
yeah, and it gives an
big.
introduction to it, teaches you a very cool healing tool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an easy way to be intro to the work that we do and how we work.
Okay, well, that's it. That's a wrap for that.
All right, we're
All right. Give them a call if you need help. Tony White, talkyakima.com.